Welcome back to Two Beards and a Bible podcast. I'm here with Fred. How are you doing today?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Fresh off honeymoon or something?
Oh yeah, fresh off a honeymoon in Greece. We actually Greece was my favorite. We did Greece,
Sick.
Croatia, Montenegro, but Greece is amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's the food was ridiculous. The history behind it.
I'm not a foodie. My wife is. She's been dying to go to Greece. We'll go there soon, but yeah, I'm not a huge. I'm a burger and wing type of guy.
Well, they got
Steaks, that type of stuff.
They got these things called souvlaki. It's like gyros, basically. I had one every single day.
Jeez.
It's so good. It's hard to explain because like the tomatoes taste different there. It's like all the food, like vegetables, taste like juicy. It's like
Really?
what tomatoes used to taste like back in the day, from what I remember here.
Probably because they're not packed with all the preservatives and pesticides and everything that we got over here. So.
I think that's exactly what it is. But the cheeses, everything was awesome. But the history was really my favorite thing because I learned so much in just like the few days we were in Greece.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy, like how Christian Orthodox is and Catholicism kind of split apart right around there.
Yeah.
And like it's so kind of interesting how their societies, like half people are still Catholic and half people are Orthodox, and how it's like changing sometimes. And like Paul the Apostle like came through Greece, and like that's where a lot of like the books were written in, like Colossians. I think that was somewhere in Greece maybe too.
Really?
Or like there's like an island called the St. Paul Island where like he did a lot of things. I think he has like a whole chapel there where like a lot of his artifacts were too. But it's just interesting how Christianity diverged then, like to go Catholicism versus Orthodox, because like I really think the Orthodox is like pretty correct still.
Yeah.
Like they believe like they don't have a pope, like they have like people that in their church, but there's not like a person that decides exactly what you have to do, and kind of like you just commit yourself to Jesus, and that's what's the most important.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like the difference with Catholicism here in America. So it's just very interesting to see why like it diverged. And like, have you like heard about that whole like when there's a new pope now, and on Twitter it causes a whole thing?
Yeah, I don't get into. I don't have Twitter. I'm about to not have Facebook and Instagram.
What?
And, no, I'm just over it. I'm over it. Actually, we were just talking about like the freedom and everything, and it just consumes so much time that I'd rather be spending reading the Bible or working on my health or something like that. So
Yeah.
no, I don't have Twitter. I'm not really up to. I'm really trying to stay away from news. Like, it's kind of nice to not know what's going on.
And you'll eventually hear the things like
Yeah.
somehow.
Holy mackerel.
What was that? Oh, it was just a microphone somehow in the background. Okay.
We don't need that microphone.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of nice to just kind of have your head buried in the sand and not hear everything. I do know there's a new pope, actually from America, maybe?
Yeah.
From Chicago?
From Chicago, actually, yeah. So it's kind of like all my timeline is just full of Chicagoans. Like,
I heard he
so
possibly has roots to Louisiana. I'm not.
Does he really?
I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think I might have heard that.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I heard his like favorite like pizza places and everything. Everyone has like a connection to him somehow. But it's just there's this big debate on Twitter happening, and you're totally right about that. It's probably best just to disconnect from it, like, because then you're just focused on the things that are really important.
yeah, I mean, we were talking last time, I think, about sports and all that type of stuff, and ever since then I've been thinking about the things that take my time away, and like social media is one of them. Like I watched the most ridiculous. I was actually talking to one of the dads on Parker's baseball team the other day about, like, you watch one reel and then that leads into something else, and like, it's not even the fact that I'm watching like useful information. Like I could probably start a helicopter right now from the reels that I've watched on how to start it's just dumb. Like I'm never going to start a helicopter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why am I spending my time doing these things when I could be spending my time studying the Bible more, praying more, even like peeling myself up to go get my steps in is a chat. Like, I just feel like my energy would be better focused in other areas. So
that's really smart, because you're spot on there. Because like, what's more important, like going on a walk or like improving yourself or committing yourself to something for 5 minutes?
Like I don't know if it's embarrassing to admit this, but so I already touched on the helicopter thing. I watch a lot of flying videos because I've always been fascinated in flight. But like have you ever seen the prank farts in public? Oh, dude, they're hilarious. But I watch way too many of those. Way too many. Like there's colonoscopy farts are absolutely hilarious.
Someone's like doing a colonoscopy and there's farts.
Well, before you get released, since they pump your stomach so full of air, you have to fart it out. So it's like these humongous farts that I guess whoever's taking you home, who's there with you for the procedure, is just hits record. And
yeah, I love this.
Captures this amazing. Yeah, it's hilarious. But I say like that's funny and all, but it's just pointless. And I don't know. I feel like my time would be better spent in other areas. Even with all that said, like, I guess my biggest concern is that I get rid of all that stuff, get rid of sports, get rid of, that type of stuff. It frees me up for more time with the wife and kids. It frees me up for more time with God. It frees me up for more time for my health. But my biggest concern is that I don't replace that time. I don't make it productive. I still don't make it productive. You know what I mean? Like, I said it again, but I'm nervous about that part of it, that I free up the time but don't make it productive still, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. And it's tougher. I think the more free time you have, like the more you kind of get ingrained of like not doing things.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I had an issue in my 20s and 30s where I was just having passive income the whole time. Like I didn't have to work at all, really.
Yeah.
And it just like you just play video games. You don't.
Yeah, I mean, I have like ridiculous amount of free time on my hands because we have passive income, we have freedom, and even like that's my whole thing that I'm on right now is freedom and helping other people realize. Like I remember what it was like to be trying to get to the office by 8 and dropping kids off at 7:30 and like all these things. And I remember like my faith and my fitness were last on my priority list.
Yeah.
So kind of my whole thing lately has been making sure that people like realize that, because I feel like a lot of us are in the same boat and we let society dictate how we live our lives. But that doesn't mean I'm not still struggling with the freedom that I have, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a right answer because we kind of touched on it last time. Like, because the devil doesn't really care if you're successful or not successful. He's gonna find some way to get you further away from Jesus.
Yeah.
Like not thinking about him at all. Like if you're too busy, you'll never think about that. That's easy.
Yep.
But when you have an infinite amount of time,
you can make yourself busy with stuff that doesn't matter, and it's still like it's almost like, yes, I have the ultimate freedom, but I still need to figure out a way to put some type of structure in my life. Like I don't live by a timeline or, a schedule or anything like that, but it's almost like I need to, if that.
Yeah. I think you do because that's something that I think helps a lot. Having like certain things you're doing, like 9 to 12, that's a certain kind of thing. Like when you wake up, maybe an hour to God, and then like towards the end of the day too, and then like have that structure, because I think human beings just crave structure if we don't have it, and kind of like that's what Jesus kind of like brought to us is like, here's a structure, like this is, you believe in me and then good things will happen. Like we were like structuralists before,
and maybe for me it's as simple as saying like we've worked incredibly hard to build this life of freedom for ourselves, so putting any structure into it kind of seems like taking a step back. But maybe it's as simple as saying like time blocked structure, like, hey, get this done the first part of the day, and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever. Like maybe that's the direction I need to go with it, but I'm still figuring it out, still struggling with it, and we'll get there.
I think the key is just, it's such a simple thing. Just like commit yourself to Jesus and like try as hard as you can to get connected with him in anything you do.
Yeah.
And then sort of it just, everything flows from that then.
I was actually thinking about it today. When you texted me yesterday and asked if wanted to record today, I was, before you ever texted me, I was like, I hope he's still out of town. I don't feel like doing an episode this week, that sort of thing. But here's how interesting I feel like God works. Our main business, the bookkeeping business, we are not actively, like we shut off the Facebook ads. We're not trying to get new clients. And if somebody refers somebody to us, that's fine, but we're not spending money on marketing anymore. We got caught up and we're at a good spot with it, and it's not something that we want to just keep adding to right now, or really going forward. It's kind of like lose a client, replace a client type deal. Mm-hmm. But earlier in the week, I was like praying and kind of felt like I was getting further detached from God. Like I went like a few days without really praying, a few days without studying my Bible app, all that type of stuff, like falling back into like society's way of life, right?
Yeah.
And I felt myself getting further away from God, and without like coming out and saying like, dear God, I need a sign, like send us a client. Because we don't get a ton of referrals. We don't get a lot of stuff off of Google. Like, it's mostly from when we're running ads. I didn't come out and like actually say it, but it was a thought, It was hey, I need a sign, like pull me back in. Tell me that I'm getting too far away from you and that I need to, I need to reel myself back in. Later that day, got an email from somebody that refers us business, not regularly, but I don't know. He's maybe referred us 2 or 3 clients. He got a referral for us.
Wow.
Later that day. Next day I woke up, prayed again, and I don't remember like the passage where the guy was asking, like he got a sign, and then the next day he wanted another sign. I think it had to do with the bushes on fire, or I don't remember exactly. But I was like, I'm not trying to test God. Like, I believe like I just need to get my butt back in gear. But I had the thought again, like, if this is, I don't believe in coincidences anymore, but if this is really a thing, like, send us another out of the blue. Later that day, I got a Facebook message from somebody that I had talked to like a year ago. Hey, I'm ready for a bookkeeper. And I'm just sitting here like, this is unbelievable. So when you text me yesterday, I was like, look what God's doing in my life. How can I say no? Like, I don't really feel like going to do this. I don't ever really feel like going to do this, But how can I say no at this point? And I feel like that's what people, like when you start to give your life to God, you're going to find yourself in these circumstances. It doesn't mean that we'll ever get those 2 people as clients, but it was just like he has a funny way of nudging you.
Yeah.
And that's what I find the most fascinating.
Because like there is no coincidences ever.
Correct.
Like that's like the first thing that goes away. It's like everything happens for a reason. And it's kind of incredible. Like you shouldn't be testing God, like you said too. Like, but if like God is always listening and he's always there trying to help you. And if you kind of like, and there's always that dark side, I feel like, that wants us to not like go towards like God. That like, you're like, it's hard to go open up your Bible and pray. Like there's always like that, like you don't want to do it. There's always that feeling. Yeah. And once you just like commit yourself and like do it, then it gets easier. And, 100%. And God like comes and presents himself.
And another thing I noticed, this is kind of a little bit off beat, but I do a lot of walking around the waterway. So you see a lot of people, like you can't help but see people. And I've noticed like the days that I just get up and I go walk, I'm like, it's completely different from the days that I wake up and I pray first and I do all my Bible stuff and then go walk, because it's like people can see that from me. Yeah. Right. And when I walk by people, they're like, hey, how you doing? Like I don't know if I'm putting off a better demeanor or what it is, but the days that I don't get up and do what I need to do as far as my faith goes, like it seems like nobody says hi, nobody says good morning, like none of that. It's very odd.
I believe it. I mean,
it's like you're putting off a different energy.
Yeah. And this is all wavelengths and everything happening to us right now. And we really need to like just like this world, like we mentioned it before, is becoming more spiritual, and it's all about like the energies that we're put off in the world. Yeah. And there 100% that's right. If you commit yourself right in the beginning of the day to like read about God's word and like just like kind of like bathe in it, you know, just
Yeah.
like make it a part of you. That's like it
Grab a quick devotional. Like it's something about those the devotionals for me always seem to fit right where they're supposed to. Like it's almost like
that's the crazy part. Like you read one
I
scripture.
needed this today.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my goodness, how is this happening? So if you're not a big devotional person, you're not a big, prayer person, like start with these little things like that and see. I think we talked about this on another episode. It's impossible, in my opinion, to wake up, spend time with the Lord, take care of your health, and have a bad day. Like you've already won at that point. It can only it's just almost impossible. Like I don't.
And you can start small. That's the thing too. Like I remember when I first started reading the Bible, I would just like turn to some random page, or I would always like.
That's what I still do.
New Testament, and you're so spot on. Like you would read something, and then it would like spark something later in the day, like that. You're like, oh wow, that's why I read that. Yeah. Like that wasn't a coincidence. I read that exact thing for a reason.
100%.
And it's like how could you deny it when that happens, right? But if you never do that, it's easy to deny. Like it never happens.
I mean, you the only way you can deny it is if you just refuse to believe. I don't know any other way.
Oh man, don't get me started. I spent half of my honeymoon on the comments on some of our videos about believing and stuff. You just like sparked a memory because like, I remember being in this beautiful place, and I don't know why I like respond to these comments. I should have just taken my own advice and just like take it off.
I haven't looked at the comments since like 2 or 3 episodes ago when I was like over the comments.
Well, I feel like I need to because like
it's good. It's good though it's good for the algorithm. It's good for
the engagement. Exactly. Yeah, it's really good. But it's not even like there's lost souls around and they're just having questions. Like they might come off aggressive, but it's just them being curious about it. Like I applaud anyone that watches our videos and disagrees with us, like, and then comments on it. Like you guys, that's the only
ones I don't applaud is the ones that think like we're claiming to be experts. Like you obviously haven't done enough. Like you didn't even go as far to read the YouTube description to see that we're not claiming to be experts. We're actually complete opposite. We're just 2 normal dudes sitting here talking, that's the only ones that get under my skin.
Yeah, but even then, they're watching our videos. They like watch the short for some reason. Like there's some inner part of them that is like struggling with something. And like I remember having like a comment, like I don't know how many comments we had, but like it ended up with being like, you don't really believe in Jesus, or like you don't believe in his sermons. Like that's what like they came up, like that was their response. I'm like, okay, I'm done with that, because like everything I'm saying right now is just quoting. Like I'm not coming up with these things randomly. No. I'm literally just mirroring what I read in the Bible. Like I'm not that smart. I can't come up with these things myself.
Yeah.
And then, but at the end of the day, I think it's a crux of just non-believers and believers. Like non-believers are trying to understand the world and coming up with all these different solutions and different theories of why they have to be right. But
non-believers probably, I don't know, they're the type that need to see the actual, like back when we used to have our insurance agency, insurance is a very like, nobody likes insurance, right? That we like iPhones and we like things that we can hold in our hand, right? But the insurance is extremely important. Just nobody wants to pay for it because it's not something you can see. It's not, like I kind of compare it to that a little bit, because faith is like not, you can't see it. It's something you have to have, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about that in another episode. Was faith is not knowing what's going to happen, and for the non-believers, that maybe that's the type of people they are. They have to have it in their hands and be able to hold it and see. Like they just don't have that capability of belief. I don't know.
But it was a strange thing because they were saying they are believers. They're like, I come from a very Christian family. Like I've absorbed Jesus' teaches. Now I'm absorbing like, Buddhist teaches. I'm absorbing Islam, and I'm like, they're taking everything, and then they're coming up with some grand theory of themselves that is the correct way. Like that's what I'm trying to say is like they're something in their mind. They need to come up with the grand solution.
Yeah, I suggest they go listen to some more Philip Anthony Mitchell with all these different religions and everything. I don't want to get into it here personally, but go listen to what he has to say about all that.
Who is it again? Can you?
Philip Anthony Mitchell. That one I've sent you a few of his sermons. Very biblical guy. He won't pull any punches when it comes to there's one religion. And
I gotta watch that because it was interesting. Because like at the end of the day, we can't come up with this, or like there's someone in charge of the grand theories, and we commit him to ourselves to him, and then just deal with the day to day. But you know what video has been doing really good and good engagement? I think every comment was really positive.
Let me guess. Does God have a name?
I don't know. That was a good one for sure. But that definitely caused a lot of controversy, I think. But the one about Christian rap.
Oh, yeah.
Every comment was really good. And everyone's like, we should pull it up and like talk about all the different I will. But it's really resonating. And someone had an amazing comment on that, is that the Bible is like the original poetry, like that. Everything Jesus says is poetry. So why wouldn't that be like really like hard hitting rap? Because that's what rap is really just poetry with a beat. And it really like resonated with me. Like that's why this new Christian rap is really good. And I think a lot of people are just looking for like new like venues and music, because music is so stale right now. Like when you turn on the radio, like how many,
even like, let's not just pick on rap, like even country music is just, what are we talking about? It usually involves drinking. It usually involves getting your heart broken. Like it's
Broadway
just,
girls
we're not doing this. Like we're not, I don't know. It's not moving the needle for me anymore. It's just good to listen to,
right? Like how often can you hear about like
the
girls
message is
and
the
smoking?
same. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm a little over it, but
I want to pull up this Christian rap because like they had a lot. I haven't heard about a lot of these. I wonder if you have here. So a lot of people did say NF is amazing. I brought him up, and then a lot of people were saying also that he's kind of like changed in the last couple years, and he like is like sponsored by Eminem or something that does things with Eminem. But that turned out to be fake news, so I don't know what that's about. But Brian T and Joe Nestor,
never heard of him. No.
Like check them out, and maybe
Lecrae's a big one.
Lecrae?
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that one.
he's got some real good songs. Lecrae, KB, Holvey are all three really good ones. Andy Mino, I think I'm saying his name right. He's a good one. Dude, there's so many out there.
I know. We should just keep talking about it because like it's really important to like imagine if that's like the rap music we hear on the radio. But Crosshop here says he's got a lot of good ones. Also check out Tadashi, Kenton Jones, Urban D, Little Luke, Miles Milnick, lots more. I haven't heard of any of those.
I've heard of, what was the first one?
Tadashi.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I got to check all these out. And yeah, I think those were most of the recommendations, but I was like trying to think about maybe we should play some of it, but then I think we just get copyright strike.
Probably so.
I think
we leave it to everybody else to go. They can go if they're interested enough to go see what's out there. Like, I mean, I'll give you what's on my. How about this? I got a gym playlist, and it's nothing but Christian rap, and I'll just name a few of them, and people can go out there and see if they like this. If I Die by A$AP Preach and Curtis Hoppy, Can't Tell It All by Holvey, KB, and Lecrae, I'll Find You by Lecrae and Tori Kelly, Thank the Lord by Mission. What are your thoughts on Kanye, actually?
Oh, this is
because I have a few of his from his Christian album that was absolutely amazing.
No, I love Kanye's free spirit. Like clearly
I heard from I'm going to butcher this. I think he refers to himself as a secessionist.
That's what Kanye.
No.
Oh, some other
guy I was listening to, and he was basically like, "Dude, I feel bad for Kanye because somebody took advantage of him and put him out there with this Christian thing, and it just like, I don't know, put him on this pedestal that he couldn't uphold, you know." And I don't know. I thought the album was amazing that he put out. It was
like the gospel music, right?
Yeah, it was a Christian rap album. What's the name of it?
But
Jesus is King.
Oh yeah, I love. There's such a there was one song on that album about like if you need Jesus, like the song's for you. Like that song, We gotta look.
It was a great album.
Jesus Walks, maybe it was.
That was like
back in the day. I'm getting confused between them. Yeah, but I was a big Kanye fan since he's a Chicago rapper.
Yeah,
and he was like, that's what's such an amazing thing. He was so egocentric, Kanye, his whole time, and now he's talking about the Lord all the time and how Lord is important and like how like Jesus is king. Like, can you just like consider Kanye the most egotistical person like ever pre 2010 or whatever, and now he's committing himself to the Lord. Like, how big of a difference?
I think he might have fell off.
You think so?
I think that's what this guy was getting at that I was listening to. I think he might have fallen back into like his old ways.
But do you know
it was like a short stint of I'm a born again Christian. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but that was the impression that I got, and I don't keep up with it enough to know, like all this. I
don't want to get banned off YouTube or anything, but he was on Alex Jones, and this is what started the whole controversy with him and like. I don't even want to say the word because it's going to get us like...
Oh, also, are you talking about like the thing with his cousin?
No, I'm talking about him like being a national socialist. Maybe that's the word I'm talking.
All right, well, I don't even know if we should be talking about Kanye, actually, now the more that I think about it, because
but it's interesting.
I heard about this thing with his cousin that is...
What happened there? I didn't hear that.
Underage and cousins.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
But that just sounds like
allegedly.
Exactly.
I feel like
I'm so sick of these allegedly things. Like, to look at what he says and then, like, talks about and, like...
I'm not trying to get us canceled by talking about something, but I'm also not trying to put, stuff that's not... Like, I haven't put the energy into looking into it, and fake news, man, is so exhausting, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that shouldn't be a thing. Like, we shouldn't have to not trust stuff that gets put out. Like, I don't remember this before social media.
But that's the thing. It was never obvious. There was just as much fake news, but we had no fact check. Like, we couldn't check it ourselves. So we just trusted what CNN says. Like, so then that became the truth. And they're like, okay, that's the truth. But they've been lying to us, or the society has been lying to us since, like, I can't trust anything in history anymore. Like, what really happened in history? I don't know. Like, maybe a lot of these things are fake.
Well,
like,
go back to when I was in elementary school and I was told that George Washington had wooden teeth. That's apparently not true.
Yeah.
He had like horse dentures or something like that. Like,
everything about pyramids like being built by Egyptians, like that was a big thing on Joe Rogan yesterday. Like, they had the most popular or most scientifically heralded Egyptologist. Like, he lives in Egypt, and
didn't they find like some pillars going underneath the...
that was before. Yeah, they found like they did some subsonic like radar and stuff.
Yeah.
But this guy's the foremost expert about Egyptian like history. If you ever want to look at any of the pyramids or artifacts, you have to go through this guy. He's in charge of Egypt basically, and he didn't have basic answers of like how they move stone quarries from the mountains to like the thing. He didn't. There's no way for that to happen. And this guy's the foremost expert. So like, all of history just might be fake. I don't know.
I mean,
all that I can be confident in is Jesus Christ died for our sins. Like, that's the only thing I'm confident about.
This is true.
And but going back to Kanye, I'm going to bring him back, lure us back, but
don't cancel us.
Yeah, don't cancel us. But he got canceled originally because he went on Alex Jones and talked about how the guy in charge of Germany back in the day, I just don't want to say names because I don't want the algorithm to pick up. Christianity teaches us to love him. Like, we have to love the most hated people in the world. We have to turn our other cheek. We have to give repentance to even the most disgusting people in the world. That's what he was saying. And he got canceled because everyone's saying he's a lover of the guy from Germany.
No.
But he was basically that's exactly what Christianity is, though. Like, you have to love the people that you hate.
If you think about it, and
you shouldn't hate.
I feel like we talk a lot about like the holier than thou crowd. How often do they look at somebody and the clothes they're wearing or the tattoos that they have, and they just assume like Jesus can't use that guy, like he's lost or she's lost. Like, oh, look what she's wearing. Like, that's way too revealing. She's a lost. Like, there's no way Jesus could use that person.
Time,
and that's just like people who are expressing themselves a certain way. That's not even people who have done necessarily bad things. But at the same time, like, I actually heard Philip Anthony Mitchell talking about this. You can't be like so pro something that you're anti the other thing. Like he actually said, like, you can't be so pro black that you're anti white and then call yourself a Christian. And he said the same. You can't be so pro white that you're anti black or you're anti Mexican. Like if you're a Christian, you're a Christian, right? And you can't be so judgmental, really. Like we keep going back to that because you never know. Like God can use your mess and turn it into a message for somebody else, right? So the struggles that somebody went through. One of my biggest like people that I listen to in the entrepreneurial space is a 3-time convicted felon, like federal prison type of guy. Turned his life around and has become one of the biggest. You know, he's a New York Times bestselling author. And
I think that's a lost message because honestly, I feel like we are heading into a race war. If you like go on like social media,
I hope not.
But like all the things happening, like people are taking teams right now. Like I think everyone except for white people have taken a team already. And now like I feel like it's like white people are collectivizing and it's going to be terrible. Like, and the key is like exactly what you're saying is like, don't be so pro-white that you're anti-black or so pro-black that you're anti-white.
Basically,
we are all made in God's image.
Yeah. Right? I mean, you can even spin it. Don't be so pro male that you're anti-woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's okay to say, hey, I appreciate this and I support this, but it doesn't mean you have to minimize or hate or dislike or anything else, something that's not that, right? Or
and it's
the opposite of that. And I think that's something as a society that we need to understand and come together as, and stop letting the wedge and everything that's divisive. Because at the end of the day, I think that, especially as Americans, we're way more alike and we think alike than the people who, you know, are at the top want us to believe.
Of course. Yeah, that's a great point. And honestly, when the founding fathers like founded this country, they were going through a great awakening, just like I think we are on the precipice of this great awakening. It was a spiritual awakening in Christianity. And their main message was like, don't get factionized. Don't start taking teams, like going onto your identities. Oh, you're a Protestant? Oh, no, I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. You know, don't let people divide us into groups.
Yeah.
We should just be one thing. And then I think that's what we really need to get back to as a country. We need to be like a Christian nation again. I think if we can all
real Christian nation, not because, and that goes back to like judging people and, you know, oh, God can't use that. Like that guy's got a needle in his arm. He's been homeless. Like, okay, that doesn't mean God can't use him.
Yeah.
But we're as a country and as a people, and especially people who call themselves Christians, they just look at him or her and assume that they're lower than them. They're trash. They're not worthy. You know what I mean? Like there's
but that doesn't come from a good place. That can't be from God.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That actually lends more to what the non-believers are saying. Like, how can you look at that person and judge them for all their wrongs and call yourself a Christian at the same time?
Yeah.
Right? Because Jesus wouldn't do that.
But that's
Jesus would heal that person.
But it's a fine line because the comments, one of the commenters I was debating with, they were saying how I'm judging them. But all I was really saying, this is what Jesus and I believe. And they took it as a judgment that, you know, why are you being holier than thou? Like exactly what you said before. But all I'm saying is that if you commit yourself to Jesus, you know, good things will happen. But that's right there. Yeah. They're saying that's attack on their person because they know that's not the correct way. That's what I'm saying. It's a tough argument. Like it's such an interesting thing.
I think all you got to say at that point is, hey, God bless you. And I mean, just getting dragged into the whole debate thing is exhausting to just even think about, but props to you.
I'll do it in my honeymoon. No, but like I said before, it's important to that's why we're doing this.
We're not judging, not judging you.
You'd be fine just doing that for the rest of your life. It doesn't impact me how you live your life. I'm fine with you if you do any kind
because
of way
the shoe fits both ways. Because God says that, you know, when he's talking about sin and he's talking about those things, he actually talks about you're better off being dead than being the person that causes other people to sin. Do you remember that whole passage and all that? Like it's something about tying a millstone or something around your neck and I guess throwing yourself in the ocean or something. Like, I don't know what the full thing is, but he takes like you being the reason that other people sin is like the worst thing that you could, it's worse than sinning, you know, in his eyes. So like going back to that, like, I don't know how to express to those people, like, we're not judging you. Like, we're not,
that's why
you got to get yourself into a right frame of mind and a right way of thinking and see what it starts doing for your life.
And I think that's why it was important to like differentiate before, like, it's not them, it's these demons that are infecting us. Cause that's what Jesus did. He removed demons. So he was judging these demons the whole time. Like, why would he remove those part of him if he wasn't making a judgment right there? Jesus is okay, I think, judging like demonic behavior.
Yeah.
But then some people think that's them. Like that demonic thing, like me, like doing these, like making these like jokes to hurt someone. That's them. That's not them.
No, that's not them. But that's kind of where he was talking about, like, if your eye, and I believe he was talking about your eye being your heart, causes you to sin, then cut it out, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you got to understand those things and understand, like, hey, that isn't you, but you can overcome this. You can fix it. And it starts with recognizing that, hey, me going online and just making fun of people is not normal, number one. And I mean, I've done it myself. Like, it took me realizing, like, this isn't godly. This isn't like Christ. Mm-hmm. And I need to stop. And I stopped.
It's that easy, right?
It's that easy. So it's not judging somebody. It's like, hey, here's a different way to look at this, and here's a different way that you can go about things. And at the end of the day, I believe that I'm a better person the closer I've gotten to God.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I feel like I'm doing everybody that comes in contact with Fred a favor by being a better person.
Yeah, and leading by example.
Correct.
And I think that was the video that a lot of the drama happened with about faith, like, because people want to know, but faith is the absence of knowing. Like, you need to like believe, and that's a difficult thing to get people to believe in, because like everything about our world is like, you know, you learn from grades, you know, kindergarten to sixth grade, like this is how science works, this is how the planets are arranged. But like, if you think about it, they're just like fake names about planets, like they came up with like a fake like whole, you know, like the whole universe is based around our sun or something, you know, like, or like about our galaxies. We don't know anything. Like, it's all like kind of human made up knowledge. I heard something really good, and the atheists, Christians require a lot to believe in a lot of miracles. Like, there are a lot of miracles in the Bible, and we believe in them. But atheists only make you require believe in one miracle, and that's the miracle of the Big Bang. And then everything else kind of is just science. But the biggest underlining thing is a giant miracle.
The Big Bang happened, and science was just like, we're just going to make this one species be able to communicate with each other and comprehend and develop things. And like last time I checked, I haven't seen an elephant go create an airplane. You know, like none of that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And that's the thing that they're trying to say is like, you have to, like, they think they're the most logical people.
Elephants can't evolve and learn to talk. Like,
there's never been a change of species ever in evolution. Like, there's all these like, and they call it the science of gaps or the knowledge of gaps. It's like a rebuttal against Christians. Like, because we don't know everything. Like, that's why you're calling us wrong. Yes. Because you don't know fundamentally how the universe started. You cannot fundamentally tell me where we came from nothing.
Well, their excuse is
something.
It's okay not to know.
And but the thing is, they're saying they have the answers to everything after that. Like, but
they don't.
They don't, yeah. Because the evolution is like only happened once on our planet ever. Like, we went from a rock to amoeba once, and they're saying we can trace our whole lineage to that one, you know, evolution like spark that happened. It only happened once in our entire, like, if it's so common, why didn't that happen like at least a few times, maybe twice or something?
Yeah.
Why don't we have multiple ancestors? Why does it have to be a common one?
Yeah. Hey, it's I don't want to say it's exhausting to like go at those. You know, hey, they're entitled to believe what they believe at the end of the day, and they have faith that this whole thing was science based.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Is like it's just as much as about faith that it is a believing about Christian God. Like to believe there. Well, it's actually less because like history points to Jesus existing, and we talked about this last time about John the Baptist. Like the most corroborated events in history are those two events, and still they don't believe in it, but they'll believe in Jack the Ripper existed in London. Like there's there's like periodicals that newspaper clippings that talk about him, but there's way more that talk about Jesus.
Yeah, I guess, and maybe their way of thinking could be like, this is a huge game of telephone that has been passed down over thousands of years and translated into different languages, and how much lack of technology back then. And I can see where they could allow, especially if they're a logical person or one of those people that have to have like logic, that they can't function without something making sense. I could see how they could fall into that.
But like, even logically, you can get to it. Like all the apostles got like crucified, almost all of them. I think John maybe wasn't the only one that didn't get crucified. Like they went to the grave. Like they got tortured in the most terrible way. Like why would you ever do that for a lie?
And to me, it's like, I don't know. There's so much documentation of the things that Jesus did while he was on this earth that nobody else has done. Like that seems like pretty sophisticated lie to carry on for thousands of years. You know, like
why didn't
you'd have to be thinking that far ahead, and it just doesn't add up.
And it still makes so much sense to this day in the year 2025 of our Lord.
Yeah, like can you imagine way back then being like we're gonna have these people in 2025 totally believing. Yeah, like it just doesn't add up.
Like Hammurabi's code of eye for an eye that destroyed itself in 1,000 years because it's not truth. Yeah. Like eye for eye does not make sense because then the world just gets worse and worse and worse. True. But like treating your neighbor like you want to be treated, that still works.
It still works. And at the end of the day, like we probably said it on one of the first or second episode, one of the early episodes, is like, even if we're wrong, we're still spending our lives being better people. What are the are you a better person? And that's how I choose to look at this. Like I do believe.
See, but I think that triggers them, and it triggers some part of me right away to say we're better people. Like
no, I don't mean better than anybody else. Better version of myself.
Yeah,
better.
But even like, that, yeah, because we
get triggered by that. Like, I don't know what to tell anybody. Like me before this was not a very good person. That's just facts.
Yeah,
I was an alcoholic. I thought about me first. I thought I just probably wasn't pleasant to be around. Like, I'm a better person than I was 5 years ago.
And you can only say that, though, with a moral compass.
And hopefully I'm getting better. You know, like, hopefully they've still got ways to go. And, like, I don't know how somebody.
But the only way you can be that is if you take yourself above yourself and be like, where am I getting worse? Where am I getting better? Which direction am I heading in? Because if you never take yourself above it, then why would you ever be wrong? Like even in your terrible Fred phase, you'd still say you're a good person. This is just how I am.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at it now as my wife, my kids, my family, my friends, they all deserve a better version of me. And I'm not a finished product, and I'm never going to be perfect, but I'm working towards that. And at least now at this point in my life, I acknowledge areas that I fall short and things that I don't do right and things that I did bad in my, previous life. And I'm trying my best not to do that anymore, right? I'm trying not to cuss at people. I'm trying not to, belittle people. I'm trying not to, I'm just trying to be a positive in the world that seems so dark these days. And I don't see why that should trigger anybody, right? I feel like we all should be doing that. Like, I feel like you owe it to me to be a better, right? Like,
I know, but that's the thing that gets triggered by. Like, why are you even in my way? Like, why are you even talking about what I should be doing?
Because we have to share this world together. Like, I want you to be a better person to raise better kids because my kids are going to have to share this world.
But they think that their better world is being authentic to themselves, like that, whatever their whims are. That's what a better world is.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. You do need to be yourself, but there's still like ways to be better as a person, like just a human being.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
No, I agree. And the way I think about it, I'm just taking devil's advocate.
No, I get it. You're not a better person to the world if you get triggered in traffic and road rage, right? Or anything else that triggers somebody to just be like not pleasant. That's simple things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and
you're not a better person to the world if you're out at the bar drinking while your wife and kids are at home. That's just.
But they are.
That's authentic,
happier,
I guess.
Right? They are happy. They think they're getting happier. They think they're doing what it feels good.
I used to think that too, until I realized how unhappy I was.
That's the key. It takes that kind of like, you have to hit a rock bottom, or you have to hit something to be like, okay, it's not good.
Yeah.
Because like, you're going to keep convincing yourself, drinking all day. I'm the happiest. I'm going out with my friends, having a great time. It's always fun. Like, I'm going to all the games. I'm doing all the things I want to do. Like, it's hard to not make like happiness equal good.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like what the devil really tries
totally
to
get where you're coming from and the devil's advocate thing. And I understand that because I fight with it myself. Like, that's why I'm not sitting here saying I'm better than anybody, or like, you'll never hear me say that. I'm not more important than anybody. I'm not like nothing. Like, there's nothing about me that is better or more important or anything. Mm-hmm. I'm just on a mission to, number one, live my life for eternity, with eternity in mind, because I think I believe that there's something bigger than being born, living, dying, and that's it. Like, that just does not make sense to me.
Yeah.
There's no point, really. So I'm living my life a certain way, and along the way, I feel like it's making me a better person because of where I've come from, the things I've done, the way I've treated people, right? Treated women, like all these things. Like, I am a better version of myself. And that's all like it boils down to.
No, and I'm 100% in agreement with you. I'm just trying to take a different side. So people that are kind of, because that's how I felt too. Like, I believed I can come up with the solutions. I can come up with a theory of everything. I can take pieces of all the different religions and then leave the most righteous way. And that's the best, like meeting in the middle. Like, I remember I used to always be about meeting people in the middle. Like, the truth is in the middle somewhere. I would always say that, like, but not if the truth is the truth. Like, not if Christianity is the truth.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to meet in the middle somewhere, then you're getting further away from the truth.
There's one God. That's it.
Yeah. And it's hard for people to understand that, though. Like how do you convince people that the truth is not in the middle?
That eternity is a long time, and like, you might want to get this figured out. That, like, I don't know how else to convince you.
No, I know. That's why,
like, you're gambling with the ultimate gamble that whatever you're trying to figure out, you're smarter than whatever created it. Like, that's what you're basically saying. You're going to figure this out. You're going to be the one person that figures this out.
Yeah. Not the millions of billions of people that came before you. You are going to be. It's the same kind of thing with communism. Like, it's never really communism because it wasn't effectively put into place. Like, it's always like theoretically, next time communism will happen, then it's going to be really good. And so we're just trying to come up with things. But I think a really important thing is just being a sponge of evil. Like, that's what I tell people. Like, that's what Christianity is. And that's what Jesus kind of taught us with, like, turning the other cheek, is that there's so much evil in the world. If I can just take a little bit out of it and, like, come at me with evil, come at me with all these bad thoughts, and I will absorb it and I will pray on it. I will take it in. I will have the Holy Spirit wash me away from it. So then we can take that, whatever evil you have in the world, I can be that sponge. And that's why I want to respond to those comments and stuff like that. Because at least their negative energy will be directed towards me, and I have Jesus.
Yeah. And I circling back to, better version of myself and all these other things, like, this journey that I've been on has not just made me respond to the way somebody responds to me better. It's also made me respond to the way I see things, right? Like I don't look at that homeless person anymore the same way I used to, right? I look at him as he's a son of God or a daughter of God, and they still have a purpose, right? If you're still breathing, you're not done, right? If you ain't dead, you're not done. Mm-hmm. And like it's just changed so much, and I'm more grateful. I'm more like I give more grace. Like there's just so much that's changed, and I feel like the world needs more of that. The world needs more of us being compassionate and being loving, and all the things that true Christianity really, to me, means. And I think there's so much fake Christianity out there that we lose the people that we're trying to reach.
Yeah,
the most.
I don't want it to happen for sure. Because again, I think I just got triggered a little from my honeymoon. We had this wonderful dinner, and there's this lady who was trying to convince my newlywed wife not to have kids. And I was like, where is this coming from? Like, why would you ever? We're a happy newlywed couple.
That's very odd.
Why would you? And half of the dinner was her trying to. I was like, are you literally trying to convince us to not have kids? Yeah. She's like, yes, I'm trying to. And then she was talking about how her kids are the joy of her life, but like how it's really hard on her. She can't travel all the time and can't do the things she wants. But then, like, it's such evil.
Yeah.
Like to do that, like, and be like anti-baby. Like I kind of wanted to call her out and be like, are you just being anti-baby right now? Anti-human?
It's weird.
Basically what it is. And it's just it's not her. It's the spirit that's in her that doesn't want us to be happy. Doesn't want this newlywed couple to spread joy, to have an impact on the future. That's how you invest in the future with kids. No. We die with nothing. The only way we can impact the future, it's not with buying another Bugatti. It's not with having another, Air Force or like Jetstream 2 or something. It's about having kids that then impact their kids, and then they impact 100%. Their kids. And that's how we get to a better future. Like to be
that's all I'm trying to do. I feel like your kids deserve the best out of version of my kids. And it starts with me, in my opinion. So that's all I'm trying to do at the end of the day. And I'm doing it through God. That's how I choose to raise them. So
no, that's important and smart, because like they're going to lead by your example. Like kids will not do things that they don't see you doing.
You're not going to catch my kids. Like, it starts at home. It starts with the man. And I don't know. It's just very odd for somebody to interject themselves into a brand new, like, this was a stranger, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and then they convinced the other people. So there was this like Korean barbecue restaurant we went to. It was like a really fun.
In Greece.
Thing. It was on the cruise ship. They had a Korean barbecue concept, and it was fun. There was like 6 of us, and then they were Christians, the other 2 people in it, and they were agreeing with her that kids just take up all their time. They don't do anything.
Well, I mean, that is true. Kids do take up all your time, and they take all your money, but that's not a reason to not have kids. They're like, if I started it again,
I wouldn't have kids.
Well, that's just selfish, in my opinion.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, that's like the most selfish thing you can think of. Like, I don't want to go on an unlimited amount of vacations. I'd rather have an impact on my kids.
The time I spend watching my kids do things, try things, and experience things has brought me the greatest joy in my life. And like, I'm going to miss these days of running them around to practice, to taekwondo, to swim lessons. Like, that's going to end one day. And I can't, like, I'm trying everything in my power to enjoy it, even on the days where I'm like, oh, I got to go bring Tyler to swim today. Like, one day I'm not going to get to do that anymore. Mm. It's so incredibly selfish for me to even think, like, I wish I did. Like, I can't even fathom.
Yeah, and
saying that.
I could, like, it kind of, like, again.
And I feel like that, right? I feel like that. And in the Bible, it says something about, like, the thoughts that God has about us as his children is like the specks of sand in the world, right? And I think I read somewhere, like, the amount of sand that is in, like, 8 cubic yards is like astronomical, and that's just in like 8. It's like sextillion or something like that. Mm-hmm. Not like a number none of us can even comprehend, and that's the positive thoughts that he has about us, right?
That's a good way to think of it. Cause
Like, how could I have any bad thoughts about my kids, and especially wish they weren't like ever born, you know, or wish I never had them, you know, like,
but
it's crazy
it
to
takes
me.
a special level of evil. That's why I'm like to tell people not to do it. Like why would anything else matter in this world?
It doesn't.
Like
to me, there's nothing.
Our time is so fleeting. Like we're halfway through our lives already, and like it's gonna be gone in a second.
That dude's gonna be out of the house in 7 years?
Yeah, he's gonna before like the next snap of our fingers, he's gonna be married. He's gonna have kids and do a podcast and talk about his kids, and like, before he even know it.
So it's wild to me that anybody would say that. But hey, to each their own.
Again, I'm just trying to say that there's evil in the world who is trying to corrupt us all the time, and they try to do it in good, fancy things, and it's always egocentrical. It's always about how your life is going to get better because of you not following Jesus. And that's the ultimate, I think, crux. Is like either you're living this life for you or you're living it for a greater good.
Couldn't agree with you more. I choose to live for a greater good. I choose to believe that there's something more than this dash that we're given between two dates. Like there's something more.
There has to be, right?
I refuse to believe that there's not.
Well, yeah, it's just science too.
And my whole thing now is like, I heard somebody talking about it the other day, and he was like, look, I don't feel bad for the atheists, the agnostic, like I don't feel bad for them. It's the Christians who don't go all in that I feel bad for, because, and we're talking about the ones who judge other people, the ones who don't live with love, the ones who are hypocritical, the ones that have pride, the ones who are, we know who I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Because one day they're going to get to that meeting, and they're going to hear, "Depart from me, I never knew you."
Yeah.
But I went to church every week, right? Like
I know they think they did all that. That's why it's such a,
and that's why non-believers need to listen to what we're saying. Like we're not I'm trying to live my life making sure I never hear that. I want to hear the "well done, good and faithful servant" part. Mm. So I'm on this imperfect, actionable path, right? I'm taking imperfect action because that's better than no action. And I'm trying everything I can to improve a little bit every day. And then I fail and I get back up and I keep going. And along the way, I feel like it's making me a better person during my time on earth. But I understand that I could still be in that crowd that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're not sitting here saying like we're better than anybody. I know I said it again, but
I saw you twitch.
It's like, I don't know. You just have to experience it, and you have to see where we're coming from and understand, like, I'm not judging. Like, I can't judge anybody because I'm not perfect.
But switching subjects though, because I think you're spot on with that. But I was looking at the analytics of our podcast, and you will.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the.
I know we're like an hour in already, and it's like we didn't even talk about the things we're supposed to be talking about. But it's important because, like, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters is just being a good person, taking in the evil. I think that's the summary of the thing, and living your life and committing yourself to God so you can have an ultimate reward for everlasting life through Jesus Christ. But the analytics is pretty hilarious now because we're actually getting some good. We have 1,000 subscribers now.
1,000 subs.
That's kind of crazy.
I think a month and 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Since we launched the first video.
We got 500 like nothing this last time. I remember the last podcast we did, we were excited about 500 and now we have 1,000. It's
correct.
Hopefully it keeps going like that. That would be amazing.
And that's what my wife kind of, when I was getting irritated by the comments and things like that, and not so much the comments, because like people are entitled to come and comment whatever they want. Like that doesn't bother me. It's the feeling that I have to go respond. You know what I mean? The feeling that I have to go defend what we believe and things like that. And then choosing like, that's not how I want to spend my time. That's what bothers me. Mm-hmm. But like she said, there's 1,000 people now who want to hear what is being said and want to hear what we believe.
Exactly.
And there's not 1,000 comments. You see, like the good far outweighs the bad. And for the negative people out there, or the people who don't believe, like, you'll never hear us say like, we don't like you, or like, hey.
No, I like you. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for coming to our channel, trying to listen to something that you disagree with. Like, correct. I really encourage that. That's amazing that you can do that.
100%.
But the analytics is kind of crazy. You're spot on. The thing I don't want to do is, like, when I start seeing a comment get like a bunch of likes that's like going against what we're saying, that's when I have to, okay, I'm going to comment here and make sure that gets it back on the right track. And that's what happened with that whole thing. But the analytics, can you guess that we get the top like 50 cities of our subscribers now? It blew my mind what number one is. And it's far and away like 200 more subscribers in this, or like something like that, in this city than any other city.
Is it American city?
No, it's not. It's kind of, we're American. It's about 68% of our audience is American right now. So it's a good chunk, but this one city is our number one subscriber base.
I'll say Dubai.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. But it's in South Africa, and it's like not even like Johannesburg or Pretoria. It's Cape Town down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So shout out to all the people in Cape Town listening to us. Doesn't that kind of blow your mind?
It does.
Like,
I never would have thought.
In Africa, in like South Africa, people are listening to us. We don't probably have this weird accent to them, you know.
Just be thankful I'm not from like South Louisiana, or else y'all would probably be, what in the world is this guy saying? I sound more Texan than I do Louisiana, but that's awesome. Yeah. Wow, I had no idea.
It blows. Pretoria, another South African, is like number 6 or something. So like,
what's the biggest U.S. city? Is it Houston?
No, it's New York. Also blew my mind.
Really?
Isn't that crazy? I would never expect that.
I don't know why, but I didn't take New York for a huge like religious
Christian.
type of Christian.
But that's the thing. There's so many people there. Obviously,
when I think Christian, I think like the Bible Belt and all that type of stuff, too. And that's interesting.
But even Chicago and stuff like Houston's like number 7 or something. It's up there too. Actually,
come on, Houston. Come on. This is a homegrown thing. You got to support us a little bit more than that.
No, I love our Houstonians, but that's what people forget. Like, these big cities have Christians living in them. They're just, you have to be there for your job. You have to be there for your family or whatnot. There's 11 million people in New York. Obviously, there's going to be millions of Christians. So just shout out to all our subscribers. Please like and subscribe and give us those comments and feedback. We'd love to hear more about it.
I feel like we got some good ideas coming too, where it's not going to just be me and you talking. Like we're going to start, reacting to maybe some sermons or something like that, things that we don't get copyright trouble for. But
why don't we do that next time? I think we talked about it last time. Let's literally commit to it. Like, let's find one sermon each, and don't send it to me beforehand so I get kind of spoiled, and so we kind of have a live reaction to it. And likewise, mine to yours.
Yeah, we can do that.
And that'll be fun. And then spread that.
And then just go from there. But, man, I didn't know that when we started this that there was going to be 1,000 people out there that wanted to hear something that we had to say. So that's pretty wild.
No, all praise to Jesus Christ. And honestly, if one of those 1,000 people we can impact to just commit yourself to Jesus, like, it's the most fruitful fruit you'll ever have in your life. Like, everything will happen through it.
And then not only that, then just like when we talk about the Christian rap, or we talk about Philip Anthony Mitchell or Jerry Flowers, or like, that's what we're trying to do is, hey, this is not the ending. Like, you commit to Jesus, like, we are not where you need to like land.
Yeah.
It's a springboard to point you hopefully in right directions of all the valuable resources that are out there that can help you on this journey. So I just hope that we can, be a small seed that starts your spiritual journey.
That'd be amazing. Even just for one person. If that's you, like, all love to you. I can't wait.
100%.
See what happens to you. Yeah.
I don't know if you can send me a message by the time this gets out, but you can send Mike a message and tell him like, hey, thanks for what y'all do. And
you have a lot more. Like, I need to just like pull off the thing. I still haven't done my personal accounts. Like, I would get a lot of more people, like my friends watching and stuff like that. I need to do that.
I still get like random messages and things like that. And actually I had somebody reach out to me from Tennessee when we lived there, and was like, man, I didn't know you that big of a follower, and it's really impressive. And he actually did a fast with me.
No way.
Yeah, jumped right in.
That's amazing.
Yeah, going through some things, and I keep in touch with him now, and it means a lot. It means a lot when people, because a lot of people don't want to put their stuff out there, right? They don't want to comment, and they don't want. We live in a world where we want everybody to think everything is perfect, right? And that's what social media does a great job of, is showing everybody's highlights. But we're all going through the problems. Like, we all have, and it's all the same problems. Like, somebody might have a different form of cancer that we've never heard about, but it's still cancer, right? And it's still health. Like, we all have the same amount of, like, not the same amount, but it's the same categories of problems, and we go through them at different times in our lives, right? It's usually health, relationship, financial. Like, there's only so many categories. And it's how you choose to deal with those problems that separate everything, right? So to hear somebody reach out to you, and I encourage you to start posting on your personal stuff, and you never know when it's going to touch that one person that you didn't really like ever have a real relationship with.
No, I need to. It just, I have fear still. Like, obviously there's some part of me is still corrupted that I have this
Dude,
fear.
I have fears about coming on this podcast every week, and more so, like, it's fear of I'm not going to have enough to talk about, and it's fear of, like, I just don't want it. Well, that's more of a selfishness, but it's freeing, and the devil really is giving you that fear.
100%. I know that. That's why when you're saying things like that, I know it's the devil, and why am I giving him this control? Like, I should just...
You just got to come on here. Like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of the hurdle I had to get over, was I don't know enough. I don't, like, I'm never going to know enough. So if I let the devil keep putting that in my head, like, I'm never going to do this, right?
No, I know.
I just got to do it.
It's just...
and that's freeing in of itself. And you start winning a little bit of those battles, and, like, good things just start stacking up, and you just start feeling better. And I don't know, it's life-changing.
It's life-changing, and it's amazing to have someone like you in my life now that's a kind of a guide and shows me it's okay. Like, and that's what we kind of give to the people watching us as well. Like, it's so important to see someone take the first step, and that's why Jesus is so amazing. Like, imagine if we didn't have Jesus. Yeah. Like, he didn't exist. Like, we wouldn't know. Like, he is our guide. Like, he's already done all the tough things. Yeah. Like, we just have to follow his footsteps now.
Exactly. And I think one of the things that keeps me going, and I hope that somebody can take from this, right, is we've adopted this whole we're not experts type thing, right? And it's so incredibly hard to get on a microphone and turn some cameras on and talk about things that you're not an expert on and put it out there to other people.
Yeah.
But it's exciting to me to think about seeing this 5 years from now, and where the journey has led us, and where our knowledge has grown to, and all these other things. And if you start now, right, the whole saying is the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. Mm-hmm. Like, that's kind of what this is about. And it's not like y'all are getting to see our faith journey, like, play out, and hopefully you stick around for the next 10, 15, 20 years. But to come back and be able to see it and understand, like, we're never going to be experts 100%, know everything. But 5 years from now, we're going to know a lot more than we know now, right?
Yeah, and we should be better people.
Correct.
By then. Like,
well,
if we're...
I don't want to trigger anybody, but...
No, but if we're recognizable to ourselves in 5 years, we kind of fail as Christians. Like, however good you think you are right now.
I can't just let that go. Like, shouldn't that be a sign that something's not right? If somebody wanting to be a better person, a better version of themselves triggers you, like, that's a little off to me. Yeah. You know?
But I 100%.
And I'm talking to those people right now. Like, I'm not talking to you. I know you're doing the devil's advocate thing, but that is a surefire sign that your heart is not in the right place if somebody wanting to be a better person triggers you in some way.
Yeah. Well, they just don't want to have a good, and they don't want to have a system where you can be a better person. Like, whatever they are, they're good. Like,
I mean,
but they don't want to be a better. Like, that's tough.
And I can relate to that because I was in that position. at some point in my life. Like I wanted to live life and have fun, and I thought I was a good person, you know?
Yeah. Why can't you like drink until you fall asleep? Why can't you have another joint? Why can't you smoke another pack or something?
And I'm not better than them, even if they're in that spot right now, because I was in that spot. It just might not be the right time for them. The only dangerous game that they're playing is assuming that they have time to get it right, in my opinion.
It's very dangerous because, yeah, like you said before, like we have no idea if this is like
that's
tomorrow's
time arrogance,
the last day,
like we've talked about. So I pray that they come around at some point, and I think they will. Most people will. It's just, is it in time? Is it too late? That's not something that we can figure out, not something that we know. But no, we're not better than anybody. I'm not judging anybody. You're where you're at, and where you're at is a part of your faith journey, right? Because you got to start somewhere, and it might be that you don't believe right now, and that's where you're at. Like there's no other way to put it.
There's no coincidence. You're at that moment,
and I'm not better than you. I'm not saying that, right?
Yeah,
I'm just a better 2025 version of Fred than the 2024 version. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And then 2030 versions of us hopefully are even better.
Exactly. And have better nuggets to give to people and all that type of stuff. So we'll see.
So let's pray to that. And also pray for all the non-believers that watching us, non-believers, all of y'all. Love every single one of you. And thanks for taking this journey with us.
Exactly.
Until next time.
See ya.